In my last video, I shared how I wrote JAMB 3 times before getting admission, but I didn't tell you what completely changed my journey. The truth is, I used to run away from physics. Today, I will share what completely changed my mindset and how you can overcome physics too. After I discovered that I want to study civil engineering, I realized that there is one obstacle standing in my way, which is the almighty physics. I had spent years avoiding it because I believe it was too difficult. But I also realized something important. If truly I want to become a civil engineer, studying civil engineering in the university, I have to stop running away from physics and start learning it. That particular decision changed everything. One of the best decisions I made was buying hidden facts in JAMB Physics. When I was in secondary school, I thought the textbook was so difficult. I attended a boarding school, so it was not easy for me to save money to buy that textbook. So I felt it was too expensive for me to buy. So I never gave it the attention it deserved. Looking back now, I realized that was one of my biggest mistakes. The value of the book was greater than its price. If you compare hidden facts in physics with every other textbook, including essential physics, and some people say they love Ababi, or what's the name called, which is new school physics, it is very different from hidden fact physics. To me, it's different because there is a way they break it down into smaller pieces, so by reading it gradually, you get to understand it. Looking at the first topic, which is unit and measurements, back when imagine SS1 or SS3, I could not defend that particular topic, measurements. I could not defend it. It was after I finished secondary school and I sat down to start reading physics, reading facts. That was when I realized how simple that particular topic is. Without seeing that particular topic, that first topic, how simple it is, gave me the energy that is needed for me to proceed to start reading. When I finally decided to invest in myself, I didn't stop in one book. I bought all 4 hidden facts textbook with my own pocket money because I realized my future was worth investing if I want to gain admission. And during that period, I was badly and desperate in need to gain admission. I didn't just stop by buying hidden facts. It was not the only pillar I had, but one of the greatest advantage back then was that I started early. The advantage I had was time. I started reading long before JAMB called for registration. When I started around October during that period. Is it October? Yes, around October during that period. JAMB had not started. JAMB had not called for registration of admission, so everybody was still relaxed. So while me, I was still boring, I've written JAMB 2 times already. And it was my 3rd time I realized that I need to start sitting down with physics. So I was burning, the bonfire in me was like, the energy was so great that I realized that I need to sit down and start reading this book. So that gave me enough time to start reading physics. I dedicated most of my time to physics because it was my weakest and essential. Note it was my weakest and most essential, one of the most essential subjects I needed to gain admission to the university. Little by little, I began to understand concepts that was too difficult for me to understand. If you are struggling with physics today, let me tell you this. The problem may not be physics is too difficult. The problem may be you haven't given yourself enough time to study it. When you want something badly, when you want something badly, learning is no longer negotiable. Learning is no longer an option. So the reason why you haven't improved in that physics they are seeing that it's difficult is that you still feel like learning is negotiable. You feel like you see that like learning is not really important. I must tell you, don't sit down. I've given you a clue. Buy a textbook called Hidden Fact. It is proven and trusted. I'm not trying to advertise anything here. I'm not related in any form, but it is proven and trusted. I personally told you. I personally am here as a mentor to mentor you. I've gone through that process. I've failed 3 times before I realized. I failed twice. The third time, and I realized that I need this elephant. So before you go and write that JAMB, it's important to go and get that elephant. It is important, very, very important. Start early, stay consistent, and invest in the right math. And don't be afraid to begin from the basics. Don't let that shame you at all. You know what you want. You know what you are after. You know what is important to you. Forget anything about shame. Don't mind anybody. Don't be afraid to stand for the basics. I remember when I started back then, it was to me, it was like, initially it was like, do I know what I'm doing? I have a lot to read. Starting from the basics of physics for measurement, you are like, that's SS1. Like, when you are starting SS1 phase 10, that's the beginning of it. That's the basic, the foundation of everything. And the truth is, if you want to start anything physics, your measurement is very important. See, even when I'm 500 level, I'm still using measurements. Even when I've graduated, I'll still be using it. That's the basic aspect of it. It is foundation. So don't be shy, don't be shameful. So just take your time, sit down. I used to tell people, if someone has not failed, there is every means possible that person is not qualified to advise me. So I have failed, I've passed through that process, and I'm here today to advise you, because I've passed through that process. It's my course, my friends in secondary school that can tell you, that can bear me witness how bad struggling to get 50 over 100 in physics. That was how poor I was in secondary school. So now here today, I'm now in 500 level. So let me shock you. If you are in university, when you get to university, in your 100 level, you'll be doing physics 101. And physics 101 is what you are building on the foundation of what you had in your secondary school. And it's just the same thing, nothing is different. When I add B in I'm not sure it's my first semester or my second semester. I think my first semester. I was not happy. I was not happy because those 100 level, there were things I know, like physics, like I called myself fear of physics at a point in time, because I feel like physics should be fearing me, because I don't too read them. Like I'm already good to some certain extent. You understand? I'm already good to some certain extent. So I feel like physics should be fearing me. So you need to don't start. It's never too late. You are never as poor. The kind of person that I struggle to understand concepts. I do struggle a lot to understand concepts. Up to now, I still struggle to understand concepts. But if I can cope and be here today to talk to you, it's because of I've passed through that process. I'm talking to you from experience. So don't feel too bad, don't feel too shame. I know how hard it is. I know how bad it is, how JAMB can feel like it's jamming, like we used to say in Nigeria. Jam me. Yes, I know how it feels. I wrote 3 times. 3. My mate wrote once to gain admission. Some wrote twice to gain admission. But me, I had to write 3 times to gain admission to the university. So don't feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed at all. Don't feel ashamed. And don't feel like everything is coming to an end. No. Have this spirit of resilience in you. If you feel like you want to sleep, you're already dozing off, no grief for anybody, no grief for JAMB. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it better. So if you are preparing for JAMB and you want to study engineering, you want to study physics, especially if you want to study engineering, or you're not coming to my department, civil engineering, physics is non-negotiable. Physics is non-negotiable. My number is there. You can always message me for mentorship. I'm always available to you. Always available to you. So if you find my video helpful, inspiring, click the like button, subscribe button, and tell your friend about Alias Academy. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.